On U Talk, we connect with people across Canada to learn more about themselves and their stories and experiences. It got me thinking, well, here at U Multicultural, there are a ton of amazing people with amazing stories. So why not hear about those? Our first guest is Zuher Almusre. He's our Civic Journalist. To find out a little bit more about his life and, what it means to be a journalist. So, Zuher, welcome here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Ryan, for your invitation.
Yeah, you're in the middle of Ramadan right now, so why don't you tell me a little bit about that? What does it all encompass?
So Ramadan, it's a month in the Hijri calendar, not in our calendar. Mm-hmm. It calls month of Ramadan. So all the Muslim in the world start fasting from the sun rays to sunset. And we are not allowing to drink or eat. So not like the other religions. Maybe they can drink waters or eat some food without like meat. So it's different. So we stop eating. A month, all the family members gather to break their fasting together. It's the biggest challenge for the Muslims outside of their home country. Especially here in Canada.
Yeah, because you have no one else that's really participating in it.
Yeah, it's every day for 30 days, like a Thanksgiving dinner, for example. So we try to have like salads, different like main dishes and sweets.
Yeah, to break the fast at the end of the day.
Exactly. It's like a celebration in the end of the day. And
like we did it. We made it.
Yeah, and after 30 days, we celebrate our Eid al-Fitr.
Okay.
So it's a celebration for all Muslims. They celebrate the Ramadan with 3 days. It's similar to the Christmas in Christian. And this is the first celebration for Muslim people. It will be after Ramadan.
Why do Islamic faiths participate in Ramadan? What is kind of like the purpose? What is I guess not reasoning, but kind of the religious significance around it?
Yeah, exactly. So in this month, we feel the very nice meaning from our soul. We try to feel how the poor people feel when they are hungry. We have money and we have the food, but we not eat it, just to show the poor people we are in the same field. Like we try also to be very generous in this month. So we try to make charities, donations. We give food and money for the people who need it. This is like our manners in the whole year, but we try to make it more in Ramadan. And the other side from this one, we have like a health benefit from the fasting. The science proof that this fasting every year, it makes our bodies, it's more healthier. So there is two benefits, not just in like for religion and our soul, it's also for our health. It makes us more stronger and more creative, for example, because like most of the achievement in our history, it was happening in Ramadan. So the scientists think like how these people, they have energy and they are not having any food or drink. So we have Muslim players who play in very high level in Europa League and in NBA. They playing and they have a very high scores in the basketball, and they are fasting. Everyone have like a question mark over their heads, like how come they are without any source of energy. So this is who we are, and we don't feel like we are not eating or that something
it's
challenging.
not like you're just completely cutting out food for like the entire month. It's just during the day. So I guess it's sort of a sense of camaraderie, understanding of those less fortunate and less privileged. as well as a unification with family and community in those evening times when you are celebrating and eating those meals together once the sun has gone down.
Yeah, exactly. And this year, my daughter, she's just 9 years old in grade 3, and she said like, Dad, I want to start fasting this year. So I told her, no, it's hard for you. You go to school, you see your friends, like or classmates, they have their food in the lunch break, so you don't have it. Your body's still weak for this. I don't believe you can do it. I just want to make it easier on her. Like, she's small and she can't take that decision and this responsibility, you know. And she said, let me try just one day. I promise if I feel hungry, I will stop for the next day. And that's amazing. Now she complete like 11-day fasting, and she's all the day become better than the day before, and she's very excited. And I will make for her something special this when in the end of this month, like a very special gift, because I don't encourage her to do it. She just take that decision, and she like it. She make it easier on me as in my religion to explain for her when she become ready for it and she should do it. She make it easier on me, like she did it but just by herself. So it's like something a feeling you can describe it. You just feel it, how much you feel like happy for her.
Almost like a sense of euphoria, seeing your daughter taking on this massive task, essentially.
Exactly, yeah. And she's excited, and she prepared her dish when we start to break our fast. She took every small fruit, like her dish looks amazing with juicy and everything. Yeah, that's a good feeling for me.
How long have you been in Canada now?
Now, like a 3.5, almost like close to 4 years.
Why did you want to move to Canada in the first place?
So I am originally from Syria, and I raised in Dubai. When I moved to Dubai when I was 2 years old. So the rules and the laws in Dubai, they didn't give a permanent resident or like a citizenship. And I have 2 daughters. I was working in very good position in Dubai and in very good lifestyle, if I say it correctly. I tried to travel to Austria with my family, just like a tourist for 10 days. And they said, we are not accepted. And I say, why? They said, because you are Syrian, and we think if you go there, you will not go back to Dubai. I say, what evidence do you want? They said, like a bank statement, a good bank statement, and booking for the hotels and booking for airplane, like for flight going back. I say, okay, that's fair. I have everything. And they say, you're still not eligible. I say, okay, why? They said, because you are like a Syrian, and most of the Syrian people, they are looking for refugees. You in Dubai and you have money and you can buy these things. I know it's worth to spend this money now. Even if you lost it, you don't care, because you will have to apply like a refugee statement there.
So and there's a little bit of cultural and discrimination going on.
Because I holding a Syrian passport, like I'm like not allowing to visit any country in the world, like just like a few countries. And then I said, like, I should have something else. We try to like nominate which countries we can move. Like we said, like maybe USA, Canada, or Australia. We try to find for us a way for one of these countries. And
kind of a pros and cons list sort of thing.
Exactly. So my friends and my lawyer advised me with Canada, and he said, like, we can apply for you as a refugee, even if you are not in camps in Jordan or Lebanon or Turkey. I say, okay, let's try.
Since you didn't have a permanent residence at the time.
Exactly, because the Canadian government believed that every Syrian people in the world, if they don't have
well, you're kind of an extended foreign worker at the time in Dubai.
Exactly, because you don't know what's happening. If you lose your job, you don't have enough time to find another job, and you have to go.
There's none of the benefits that apply to
Exactly.
you as because you didn't have a citizenship.
Exactly, and you have to go to Syria, and now Syria, it's not safe. We said like, okay, let's do something different. So we moved to Canada after like a 3 years of applying. Like we apply in 2016 or 15, and we travel in 2019. It was like a very long process, and we was working, and we don't like think it's like something like a wasting our time. We're still working. We are good. If we get it, that will be fine. But the only challenge what we face since we arrived here that we don't have enough information about Canada. The all resource what I had like looking on it before, the Canadian website, but when you translate the English to Arabic, it sometimes not makes sense. You understand like the word maybe literally, but you can't have enough ideas.
Well, it's not within context. When you translate things, different grammar rules, different sentence structure, sometimes it just turns into a complete mess.
And also in the YouTube, you don't have like enough information about the cities and
something we've been learning from a lot of immigrants about some of the shortcomings in terms of the information available to them.
Yeah. And when you first came, I thought I have good English to communicate with Canadian, and I find my English, it was even not slang language, like even not the language what we use it in the street. So it's very far away from what I know. So my neighbors say for me, "Hi there," and I looking around, who's there? Are you talking to me or someone there? And he feel like I'm like a deaf person or something wrong happened to me. And I say, I'm just say hi. I say, yeah, hi. And I try to correct my previous English, and I start from the scratch with my English. I took too many classes in Red River College to build my English, and I watch a lot of TV show, Friends, for example, Alf. I just want to understand what they are saying. Like sometimes I'm using the Arabic subtitles just to understand what they mean. So my biggest challenge now on my English, if you said to me like a joke and you don't smile after that, I don't know if that joke or not. Like I have to understand the body language, you know? Mm-hmm. So this is maybe my next goal in English, to have...
Trying to understand the little subtleties of certain things.
And when someone compliment you, for example, like, "Yo, Zuher, you did a great job." Mm-hmm. I don't have another response, just like thank you. In Arabic, I have like 1,000 of response about any compliment, or if you feel sad, how I can tell you like in the death or funeral what I feel. Like my heart, it's broken about your loss, but I don't know how to say it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes so in our religion, we say, if you said, for example, told me, like my dad passed away. Mm-hmm. So for me, first of all, I would say, thanks God. Because we believe he goes back to his creator.
But in that context, when you say thank God to someone, in there, that sounds like, wait, you're glad my dad is?
Yeah, it's like something maybe like...
Because, usually in English, the term thank God is kind of like a...
relief,
thank goodness that's over.
Happened.
It's over.
Like it's something overwhelming me. So this is like a very big...
Very different cultural context.
Exactly.
Now that you've been here for 3 years, what are some other things? So some of the challenges are like colloquialisms and different sayings and things in terms of conversational English. Or right now with Ramadan, there's not too many people that are going through it at the same time. Of course, there's the Islamic community here in Winnipeg, but it's not like the general population is partaking in it. What are some of those other, I guess, culture shock moments that you've gone through?
So first of all, like many of us, we have to be working very hard to be survive. So based in our shifts, sometimes we have work during the fasting, when after breaking our fast. So we break our fast here at 8 p.m. So for example, if someone who work as a security, and he is Muslim, and his shift starts from 5 to 12,
Yeah.
like a.m. So this period this time, because he's already exhausted from the fasting.
The night before.
So he need to be having not just like a lunch break, because he should pray after that.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a special pray. It calls Taraweeh after our normal pray. So he need like some time to read our holy book. For this person, it's very challenging, especially if that person a woman. So women should prepare the food for the family, be with their kids. So this kind of challenge.
So that's one of the cultural expectations,
Exactly.
or like one of the, I guess, gender roles within an Islamic household. That generally the woman would be the one preparing food and stuff like that?
Yeah, normally this is how it works. If the man can do that, it's no problem with that. I make salad every day.
Yeah.
I make the salad and the fruit. So, but usually in our culture, the woman, she is the queen of the house. The man go and work very hard outside to support his wife and his kids. So
sort of traditional gender roles within the household that people think about.
We didn't require our women to work. That's only just volunteer from her if she want, and if don't, I'm as a Muslim man, I responsible to support my wife. I have to work very hard to support her, to pay her rent, food, clothes, everything.
Yeah. Those sort of kind of traditional practices were done out here in the West for a very long period of time. It's only because of socioeconomical changes that things started changing, well, as well as like the women's rights movement wanting to work.
Yeah, here the wages in Canada, sometimes I can't say it's enough for the whole family.
Well, that's the whole conversation right now, like with minimum wage and stuff. No one can actually care for their households.
So now we feel
you need
like
to have multiple income families.
Exactly. We need our our wife to support us with like a second income. So and we also we get like a child support, child tax benefit. So all this just helping us to survive. I don't know if we can say something like that, because here the women's and men's, they are equal in the Canadian government.
In the conversation in terms of like traditional values versus breaking apart gender norms sort of thing, we need to have a system in place and resources that allow for someone who wants to stay at home, right? If someone wants to stay at home and care for their family, that should be an option available, and that's a great thing to do in life, raising a family, caring for your kids. But at the same time, if someone wants to work, it's great to have both options available.
Yeah, exactly. We would like to feel like we can support our family. For me as a man, I would like to have like a good income that help me to not put any pressure on my wife to go and work, because sometimes the ladies will become too much emotionally. They have something in their bodies physically every month make her down. And
in terms of the menstruation and stuff like that, it can be a great challenge for some people. Terrible cramps and everything, and it can be. And I mean, that's a conversation that we're talking about in terms of like feminism and women's rights and stuff, having feminine hygiene products available, funded for by our federal governments and provincial governments, as well as just being able to and take time off if need be, if they are working.
And other things I would like to highlight it, Ryan, like if I have a baby who's like just a year. So I know in Canada there is like a maternity leave for 1 year.
Yes.
And after that, we should put that baby in childcare. I don't have any problem with childcare, but who will take care more about this kid more than his mom?
Well, yeah, right? That's the continued conversation around providing.
Especially we faced a big challenge in the corona pandemic when all the kids was in this
at home. There was no childcare available.
So if we need to raise a good kids for our future Canadian, you know, if they get enough time with their mom at least, and their dad can go and work. I know that's something, maybe it's not exactly how it works here in Canada, because every family has different.
For double income families, sometimes they have no one to watch their kids if they don't have any relatives or things to watch them. But that is a conversation that is happening about continuing to help the workers here in Canada about extending maternity and especially paternity leave if a father wants to be there for their family, or for same-sex couples who adopt children. In my opinion, it's all about having those options available for how people want to live their lives, and we need to have systems in place in order to support them through those.
Based on my experience as a TV journalist here in U Multicultural, I met a lot of organizations who work with youth and children. And when I asked them what's the most challenge our kids face today, they said their mental health. There is a lot of issue in that area. So that, you know, it's very like touching me deeply, like why that kids who's just like a 5 years old or 7, or even if like a 12 in the school, he feel like he's not normal like his friends. We need just to have enough time with the family, not give
to build those emotional and physical connections with
we will
kids.
Avoid a lot of things when we have enough time. I don't have to work like 2 jobs as the father to support the family, and my wife have to work too to pay very high amount for rent or mortgage, or now even the grocery, it's too expensive. So we have to work very, very hard. And in the other side, we leave our kids, we leave our family, and we are outside most of the time. I think we are lucky, and the coronavirus gave us a very good opportunity to work from home. So that was like a positive things we have. We watch our kids when we are working, but that will not be forever. We have to go back now to our offices and back to normal. But still we feel like our kids will be like for a long time alone. Who's teaching them? My phone, the screen, the TV. And many times when they are watching this or playing these video games, in the middle there is a commercial for any product. Sometimes this is not appropriate for the kids to see. And they let our kids sometimes try this game, which one not for their age. So you give...
Well, that's the biggest struggle right now, where parents are completely busy. They're not
they are
paying attention to what they just give their kids the iPad, and they're not paying attention to what they're watching or things. And that's a whole conversation that we're seeing in terms of... this is a long topic I could go on, but just generally, you got to watch what your kids are watching, because it's all too easy for them to fall down very specific rabbit holes that can lead them in bad directions. In terms of individuals like Andrew Tate or Sneeko, Aiden Ross, these are all individuals as part of the manosphere. So incredibly toxic mindsets, incredibly toxic sort of things that they're teaching kids. And if you're not paying attention, your kid's going to all too easily fall down there and consume that. And I guess for like immigrant parents who don't speak English, their kids might be watching it and they don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And this has happened a lot in our Arabic community. Most of the parents told me, like, our kids now, they are fluent in English. They speak with each other in home in English, and we don't understand what they are saying. So this is just like a very huge challenge for the parents when they are raised their kids here in Canada. So now the parents in age, like, it's not easy for them to learn a new language, and also they are struggling with life expenses. They have to work any work, transition job, just to support the family. So these kids, basically, they don't have their family to support.
At U Multicultural, you were hired on as our Civic Journalist. Can you let the audience know what exactly that is?
So Civic Journalist, he's a person who highlight all the challenge for communities here in Winnipeg or in anywhere, but I work here in Winnipeg. My role to follow up with all the communities here in Winnipeg and what they are struggle and how we can make their life better. So every time I go to the events and I ask them about what they are like facing here in Winnipeg and how we can make their life better. So this is my role as a civic journalist. So I try very hard to make their voices more louder and everyone knows like their pain. So normally what happen if this small community, they have an event, they send for the media organization here in Winnipeg to come and cover. Even if they show up, they don't have like a huge space in their news to meet everyone and to talk specifically what was there. So it will be like just a very quick, short news for like a 30-second or max 1 minute, or a short report for 2 minutes, and that's not fair for our Winnipeggers. So I go to them or invite them to my studio, and I just open it for them to speak, explain themselves, and this is what I found it fair. We have a platform for them. So this is what I'm doing right now.
If you want to share your community stories with Zuher, make sure you send him an email. The information will be down in the description. I'm Ryan Funk. This was U Talk, and have yourself a good one.